Hey guys, I want to talk to you real quick about wholesaling. So what is wholesaling in terms of real estate? So wholesaling is when you go direct with a seller, you find a motivated seller, someone who's needing to get out from under a property for one reason or another and is willing to sell it for a discount, and you connect that very motivated seller with a motivated buyer, usually somebody who can pay cash. They don't necessarily have to have the cash in their bank account, and they might be able to get a hard money loan. But either way, the idea is that you close really quickly. So a wholesaler is the person who connects this motivated seller with this motivated buyer, and they make money by assigning the contract. So let's say for example, they buy a property, they get a property under contract that's worth $100,000, but they get the seller to agree to sell it for $50,000 because it's in rough condition, or maybe they have a tenant who's not paying, or maybe they're just underwater, they can't make the payments, whatever their reason is. So the wholesaler gets that under contract for $50,000, and then they go and sell it to a cash buyer, an investor, for $58,000. And so they assign that contract. So they're basically selling that contract, and they make that fee, the difference in what the seller is willing to let it go for and what the buyer is willing to pay for it. So in this case, $8,000, right? Seller says $50K, buyer buys for $58,000. The wholesaler nets that $8,000 commission, or really what is known as an assignment fee. And so that's what wholesaling is, connecting a motivated seller with a motivated buyer, and it usually happens really quickly, 10 to 14 days. There's usually no contingencies. You don't get an inspection period. You don't get a financing contingency. You put in an offer, you put your earnest money down, and it's non-refundable, and then you close on the property no matter what. So you can walk away if you find out something during your due diligence that makes you not want it, but you're going to have to give up that earnest money, which can be pretty hefty. It can be $2,500, $3,500, $5,000, depending on the property and depending on the wholesaler. And then the other consideration is that you have to close really quickly. So you need to have access to that cash, or access to someone who can get you that cash very quickly. And this is usually pretty good for a flip situation, or if you want to buy distressed properties to turn into rentals, you can usually get a pretty good discount using a wholesaler. The couple things you just got to be careful of, you just got to verify everything that you send. So just because a wholesaler comps it out or values it at a certain amount, you need to verify all that. You need to make sure that that's true. You need to make sure that you know what it's going to rent for, you know what it could sell for, you know what renovation is going to cost. So that's it. That's wholesaling. Hope you learned something.